Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Just finished doing a presentation on why Marianne Williamson is being publicly shamed in the media on her 74th day of her age on September 19th, 2019, for not denouncing a conspiracy theory blaming Zionism for the attacks on September 11th. Why are you hearing about this story this day? That's what I just covered in that video. And I said at the end of the video I would cover the dancing Israelis, which are the smoking gun of a Zionist plot on September 11th. And I forgot to cover that piece. So this is the follow-up video. If you don't know about the dancing Israelis, they were arrested in New Jersey on September 11th, 2001. They were flown back to Israel. They supposedly spent 71 days in jail, and then they went on television, and one of the men said this: "The fact of the matter is we are coming from a country that experiences terror daily." They're referring to Israel. "Our purpose was to document the event," and he's speaking in regards to why they were in New Jersey filming the World Trade Centers at the time of September 11th. And with regards to the 71 days, notice Mossad equals 71. That's Israel's secret intelligence. The U.S. government, Israel's government, the governments of the world, the cabal, they work by this code of letters and numbers known as Gematria, which comes from Kabbalah. In Kabbalah, it stated God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. And let's just go over the pieces of the dancing Israelis one by one. Why were they in New Jersey filming and not New York? Well, New Jersey is the location in Gematria that sums to 119, like All-Seeing Eye, like Star of David, like Orthodox. Ashkenazi Jews also sums to 119. September 11th written 11/9 in the majority of the world, like 119. September 11th is the day leaving 111 days left in the year. High fivers. The dancing Israelis were known as the dancing Israelis and the high fivers. You'll hear them referred to as both ways. High fivers is 111, like New York's 111. Like the New York Mets getting closed out in the 111th World Series on November 1st, shortly after Matt Harvey's 111th pitch, which he got pulled on. Kansas City Royals equals 212, like the New York area code. Anyhow, dancing Israelis, high fivers. Want to make a point about the day the World Trade Centers opened, which was April 4th, 1973. Notice when you write out April 4th and when you write out 44, they sum to 144. Dancing Israelis is also 144. That number symbolizes time. In Jewish Gematria, time is 144. 9/11 was very much a ritual in time. Massive ritual. Had everything to do with time. It's why 33 years before 2001, 1968, World Trade Center construction began. 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code. 2001, A Space Odyssey came out, and so much more. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. More. But April 4th, it is the 94th day of the year. And notice World Trade Center equals 94. Terror equals 94. It also equals 68. Like how the plan went into motion in 68, World Trade Center construction, 911, the National Emergency Dialing Code. Terror is also 41. September 11, 2001 was a date with 41 numerology. Al-Qaeda equals 41. Saudi Arabia 41. If you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers. With the alphabetic order, Al-Qaeda is 41. With the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Saudi Arabia is 41. The word terror is 41 with the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology. So you have alphabetic order with rules of numerology, reverse alphabetic order with rules of numerology. World Trade Centers opened on the 94th day of the year. Construction began in 68. They came down on a date with 41 numerology. As for the 40, special number, the United States is 40. Old Testament's 40, where this knowledge comes from. Mathematics is 40. A lot of math in the Bible. The 4th book's called Numbers. You'll never know if you never read it. But for the last piece, the dancing Israelis, they were in a van that was labeled urban moving systems, and a lot of people have speculated on this. Urban moving systems. Always look at the gematria first. If you're a truth seeker, this is what the Cabal uses, so this is what you should research. There's more to research, but I mean, everything that they do is by this code. Urban moving systems is 104, like Jerusalem. Remember, September 11th, the two towers. Tisha B'Av, to remember the two temples in Jerusalem. And in Jewish gematria, in Jewish gematria, Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the two temples, sums to 9/11. 9/11 is the 156th prime number, and when you write out false flag, it's 156. Notice false flag is also 33 in the most pure cipher. When you write out 33, it's 156. Remember, September 11th, the plan went into motion. 68, 33 years before they came crashing down. But urban moving systems 104, like Jerusalem. Tisha B'Av, the two temples. The first temple was Solomon's temple. Building 7, which fell later in the day, was urban moving system. What am I saying? Building 7, which fell later in the day, was the Solomon Brothers building, like Solomon's temple. British is 104. Think about who controlled Israel. Think about the Balfour Declaration. How do you spell Balfour? Is this right? Forget. Nope, that's not right. Balfour. Hold on, I gotta look this up if you don't know it. Balfour. I think I'm forgetting a letter in there. The Balfour. Maybe I spelled declaration wrong. The Balfour Declaration. If you don't know about this, you have to know about this. It's dated November 2nd, 1917, which we're going to get to. Dear Lord Rothschild, again, British banking family, Zionism. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. This is Israel. And will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Well, that wasn't lived up to. Or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. This document led to the United States joining World War I and fighting against Germany. The American people supported Germany in World War I. And Germany was destroyed after World War I and made to pay for the war, so they were in dire times. That's how eventually the Nazi movement came to power. And their power accelerated after the Jewish boycott of 1933 of Germany, which was already suffering from the reparations that they had to pay for World War I. So anyway, the deal was if the U.S. participated, they would be that much closer to establishing this Zionist nation in Palestine. And notice the word Zionist with the alphabetic order is 112. 112. It's interesting the Jesuits operate in 112 countries. But Zionist 112, this dated November 2nd. That date can also be written 2/11, like 2/11, the 47th prime. The United Nations recognized Israel as a nation in 1947. Their symbol is the Star of David, 47. Star of David's also 178, like Kabbalah. In Kabbalah, Gematria, sacred geometry, all these things are interrelated. But urban moving systems, Jerusalem, British, all 104, 74, 76, a date with 104 numerology. The One World Trade Center, now at the site is, where the two towers collapsed, is 104 floors tall. One World Trade Center, by the way, equals 93, like the 93 World Trade Center bombing. One World Trade Center, 93. There's a whole lot more to that. Very special number. Number that represents Saturn, the keeper of time. Think about how they tell us the sun's 93 million miles away. Again, time, 144. We talked about that earlier. 1,440 minutes every day. 144. By the way, think about who the builders are in this world. You know, the Masons, Freemasonry 139, Jerusalem 139, America 139, Jewish State 139, Westworld 139. If you've never seen this show, it's about people who exist for somebody else's, some other group of people's purpose. There's a group of people who exist for the purpose of a greater group of people. You know, there's a certain religious group that has these beliefs, that they are the chosen ones. And, you know, you should look into the Talmud. Speaking of the 71 days in jail, Talmud 71, you should look into that. That show Westworld, though, I swear that show's really about us over here in the U.S. See, my computer's about to die. You see how Westworld's 40? So is United States. You see how Westworld is 50? So is America 50. You know? So Westworld's 139 like America, 40 like United States, 50 like America, 104 like the date of establishment. I think that show is cleverly trying to tell us something about our own existence. People who are lied to, poisoned, misled, distracted, used and abused. Who could be behind it? You know? How can the mainstream even put out this kind of information? I thought the news was here to, you know, that's the whole reason we're supposed to have this freedom of speech in this country, because without a truthful press that informs people, you can't have a real democracy. You know, these are all the concepts that this nation's built on, and nobody seems to really understand any of that. You know, we don't have a free press. We have a propaganda press that crushes the truth every day and promotes nothing but lies and deception and tyranny, and tells you if you don't believe it, you're a psychotic, you know, you're the next mass shooter, you know, you need to be on medication, there's something wrong with you. But it's like, really? And then meanwhile 60 Minutes is doing a show on the dancing Israelis and how bizarre that is. What should you think about that, American people? Israelis over here to document the event? Must just be a coincidence. I guess after all, they are the chosen people. Yeah, they're the chosen people. And you're the Westworld people. Yeah. Until next time.